It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L.A.R.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears. I am today's host, Alex Clark, joined by our very own contract avoiders in Mathias, Allman Kurosaki, and Ryan Splash Potts, my main men, on this first podcast of December. How are we all doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'd say Thanksgiving was pretty fun. Got to see two of my brothers, my two younger nephews, who my older nephew was introduced to Mario. Or specifically the Super Mario games. Apparently he's really into watching like Mario videos and stuff. But he doesn't have like a game system or anything. So he played some of my brother's Switch. Did you absolutely school him? I didn't really participate. I was kind of like all over the place.
Gotcha.
It's tough when you're watching two of them. The older one is 6, the younger one is 2. But it was a good time. Food was great. And then I am flying to Denver tomorrow. I'll be there for basically one full day, helping my sister move back to New York. So there will be 2 kids at home now. But yeah, that's what's going on.
I feel bad for your cats, not Ponko, because Ponko.
She's bringing her cat back too.
Oh, I feel even worse now.
And she's a great cat, except she gets a little anxious around our cats. So I don't know how this is gonna work out, but it's interesting. It's basically temporary. So we'll see.
Hello, friends. I had a very short Thanksgiving. Also, the Ravens made me want to commit arson.
Yes.
So that's that. So I've been getting Christmas stuff organized. Exciting stuff, I imagine. Maybe, I don't know. It's all overwhelming sometimes, but we're doing all right. I have a new schedule at work, so I definitely am not mad and definitely don't want to strangle anyone. But you know what? That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, no, I get it. I absolutely get it here. And speaking lightly on the Ravens, I'm not going to go too much for. I got home from dinner on Thanksgiving, and the Ravens game was on. I looked at it, and I just went, Splash isn't happy right now. I just know it.
I'm glad Jack and I haven't recorded in a while, because I would just be unloading the clip. I was just so frustrated this week. And it's...
football is not my thing.
Right. And I forget which show I was listening to, but they're like, well, who has the worst situation? The Chiefs or the Ravens or the Lions or whatever. And I think people are missing the boat that the Ravens like have their quarterback. Like the Mahomes isn't the problem in Kansas City, and Goff is not the answer. We know Goff is not like a top 5 guy. The Ravens think they have a guy. We all think Lamar is top 3, top 2, whatever you want to say he is. But he's not playing like it. And you are wondering, have we seen the best of Lamar already? And that's concerning. That's like, is he regret? Like, what's going on here? Is it just like a bad couple games that happen to be together? Is he still hurt? That's a major concern. Like, at least Kansas City can say if they go 10-7 or whatever, well, we have 15 for the next 6 years. And he was really good this season. The Ravens can't say the same thing right now.
Yeah, my football team played so poorly that they booed Renegade on Sunday, which is I saw someone post a screenshot of it saying it's like booing a hymn in church. Because I mean, the thing is that I was watching the game at my friend's place, who by the way is a Giants fan. God bless, man. But anyway, I'm watching the game. And, they're just, like, falling behind, like, playing really poorly. I'm just thinking in the back of my head, I wonder what's going to happen when Renegade plays. Because nobody wants to hear that right now.
Yeah, I must say, Josh Allen has only played 2 games in Pittsburgh, but he is, like, dominated against Renegade. I'm just throwing that out there.
Josh Allen is very good. I mean, I get it. It's just, football between the Steelers and Syracuse, not my favorite sport this year.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. But hey, I'm a fan of basketball. At least Syracuse beat Tennessee yesterday for the first time in 32 years.
Hey, UConn beat Kansas.
Kansas. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, our football teams play this week. One of us will be 7-6. The other one will be.
Oh God.
Yeah. Thank you so much for leaving that to the video. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But
go Bills, I guess.
It's funny for me. Like, the Seahawks are good this year, and I just don't care. Like, I feel bad that I just don't care.
Alex?
Yeah, what's up, mate?
I'm gonna strangle you.
Okay, go for it.
Your team is so freaking good, and you don't care.
JSN is a beast. I'll say that.
Yeah, JSN is a beast. I still don't like Darnold. That goes back to my WSU days. So.
He was a USC guy. Yeah. So
when Sam Darnold has a bad game, you can call him Benedict Darnold.
Look, here's my thing. Right?
Man.
I don't know what it is. I think it's honestly just because I was so invested in the Mariners this year that, like, trying to put that level of emotion into another team just doesn't happen right now.
Fair.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Like, I feel bad. I don't even feel bad that I'm not watching the games. And I feel like maybe that's another sign of depression. Not quite sure, but who knows?
I don't know. I'm just saying they could, like, legitimately win the Super Bowl this year.
If they make the playoffs, then I will be watching those games.
They have like a 99% chance to make the playoffs.
I mean, so did the Mariners back in 2023 when they had a 10-game plus lead in the division. But
they are being chased by the Three Stooges. You are being chased by the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry, Carolina Panthers.
The fact that the Carolina is it still true? I have not been following football so much. The Carolina Panthers and the Kansas City Chiefs have very similar records.
They have the same
Panthers
record.
Have a better
same record. Cool. So it is.
Oh wait,
the Panthers are 7-6.
Team.
Yeah, they beat Matt Stafford, which is like
they have more wins over the Rams than the Seahawks too.
I mean, look, it be like that, I guess. Maybe I will care again soon, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
that's me with the Cavs. Like they burned me out last year, so like this year I just I'll follow along their games, but I'm not listening to Cavs podcasts. I'm not like watching the games. It's just like you go 64-18 for what?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, other than that, my Thanksgiving was all right. It was nice to spend some time with family, enjoy all that fun stuff, and I've just been kind of chilling, kind of making the most of my time here. But some other teams have been making a use of their time here, including one Toronto Blue Jays team that has made a huge deal here, signing Dylan Cease for $210 million. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't see it. And I think the first thing when I heard this was holy overpay. Like, they are paying Dylan Cease here. How many years is the deal for again?
7.
7 years here for Dylan Cease. And a guy that last year had a 1.1 WAR here, as Splash is showing on here, had 168 innings, which, don't get me wrong, that's solid. That's not great. The best things that we saw from him over the course of 2025 were his strikeouts per 9 ratio, which admittedly was the best in baseball, 11.5. Very, very, very good, especially for a starting pitcher to have something like that. But ERA plus of under 100, he had an ERA of 4.55 here. It was not an amazing year for him. It felt like every batter he either struck out or gave up big hits against. And now you have the Toronto Blue Jays coming in and saying, we want you for 7 years and are willing to pay over $200 million. And yes, there's not a lot, but there is deferred money in the contract totaling $61 million of the 210 here, but spread out over the course of the contract here. So, fellas, when I saw this, I'm not going to say jaw hit the floor, but I definitely stopped and just went, I can't be reading that right Here, what were your guys' initial reactions when the news that Cease had been signed?
So, first of all, as someone who picked him to go to the Red Sox, that was the first things like, darn it, didn't go to the Red Sox. But I do pick up the point, him going in division to Toronto.
Sure.
I like the move. I think it's a good move for Toronto to make. I still think you can add another arm to the top-ish half of the rotation. I don't think Cease means you aren't allowed to make any more moves. I think they'll still be active for other arms and other bats. And I'm just doing some casual reading, and I go on Fielding Bible, and it's like, okay, well, the ERA is a little high. I wonder if the Padres defense screwed him over. And the first article I see on Fielding Bible is the stat of the week. Dylan Cease deserved a better fate in 2025. And if you read the article, Padres defenders had -11 defensive runs saved when Dylan Cease was on the mound, second only to Logan Webb at a -17. So the Padres kind of screwed Cease over here, and I think the Blue Jays will be better defensively than the Padres. Jimenez and Varsho, they'll do a lot of heavy lifting. Alejandro Kirk is excellent behind the plate. That makes up a lot of a gap, having those guys at premier positions. Cease brings two characteristics that I think are incredibly important in a modern starting pitcher. One, he doesn't miss starts. He just simply does not miss starts. I'll scroll down here. He has made 32 or more starts in 5 consecutive seasons. In other words, he has not missed a turn through the rotation since 2019, actually, because 12 starts for the pandemic year is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
he is qualified for the ERA title 5 straight years. He's thrown 180 innings twice. And I know 168 innings, 177 innings, 184 innings. Those aren't eye-popping numbers. They don't lead the league. They're 20 to 30 innings behind Logan Webb. But the value in going out every 5th day is immense. And the value in pitching 5 to 6 innings at least every 5th day is immense. And I think that for a Blue Jays team that just had a deep playoff run, as deep as you could go, Game 7 of the World Series goes to extra innings, they will need that length. They have the Trey Savages of the world who have never pitched a full season of Major League Baseball. You have older pitchers, the Gosmans of the world. Scherzer's out of the picture now, but you just taxed your team, your arms, your rotation, your bullpen, and having a guy who's consistently thrown 32 starts, 33 starts, 33 starts, 32 starts, 32 starts. That is incredibly valuable. I think the ERA is inflated because of bad defense on the Padres' part. It's very similar to the White Sox in 2023. The bad defense cost him a decent amount. And you can say, well, that can be explained by the runs allowed versus or unearned runs, right? Well, no, that bad defense doesn't always manifest itself in errors. Bad defense can manifest itself in teams taking extra bases on you, singles that aren't singles for other teams. In the Fielding Bible article, the Padres only made an out on 69% of grounders and bunts. That's nice. The bottom 15%.
Not so nice.
Yeah. And they were 27th percentile in turning balls hit in the air into outs. Now, sometimes that's just the way the baseball pie crumbles, right? Sometimes it's a bunch of bloops and whatnot. But sometimes over a large enough sample size, which Cease provides a 168 inning sample size, some of those ground balls get past Luis Arraez. Some of those ground balls sneak through the infield because Hassan Kim is in Tampa or Atlanta, right? Or some of them get by the third baseman because it's not Manny Machado every day. Manny Machado is DHing a lot. So it's just one of those things. And the value I think he brings from an innings eating perspective, from a making every 5th start, that's important. And number 2, the strikeouts are immense. The 200 strikeouts this season. He had 200 strikeouts last season. He had 200 strikeouts in 23, 200 strikeouts in 22, 200 strikeouts in 21. That will reduce the variance to some degree. Now, he walks a lot of guys. He has led the majors in walks before, and this year he walked about 4 guys per 9. And if I scroll down, he has a 10% walk rate for his career. That's not great. But, similar to what I talk about with relievers, if you strike out enough guys, you kind of wipe away some of the walks. Very Blake Snell of him to do that. But a 29% strikeout rate in each of the last 2 seasons. It's been 30% before as well. I mean, he's a really good pitcher. It's also an even year, so he'll probably finish top 5 in Cy Young again. But I liked the move for the Blue Jays. I understand the concerns. He is entering his age 30 season, and he does have a lot of innings on his arm, so you could paint that as a positive, that he's been durable. You can paint that as a negative, that it's a ticking time bomb. Pick your lane, I suppose, but I think he's a good pitcher. I think the Blue Jays will get a fair return on investment, and I think this is a great move for the reigning AL champs to make.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up one quick thing here, because I completely agree with your durability thing. That's one of the things I like to praise as well. Is if a player is durable, they're more valuable for it here. And like you said, it's a double-edged sword here, how you view durability, because you can either view it as, oh, they're less likely to get injured here because they have the track record that shows that they have not been injured here. But it's also the double-edged sword of showing that you have all of these innings on your arm. You have all of these pitches on your arm that at some point something's going to crack here. I do apologize, Mac. I just wanted to make sure I brought that point while still thinking about it.
Yeah, I will say the one thing about, yes, he always, takes the ball every 5th day, but he has never averaged over 6 innings per start in his career, which, all right, I don't know how often, if your bullpen is good enough, you don't necessarily have to go 6-7 innings every game or 8 innings every time out. But, he's a strikeout artist. I mean, like you were saying, Splash, 200 or more strikeouts in every full season he's pitched. There is something to that. His career strikeout per 9 rate is about 11, which is one of the higher marks in Major League history. If you look at the full leaderboard, his strikeout to walk ratio has never been fantastic. He, in 2022, when he was runner-up in Cy Young voting, he did lead the majors in walks. But he has the stuff to be great. I think Toronto needed an arm, and they've been active already. I mean, they signed Cease yesterday. They signed Cody Ponce, who is coming off a monster season in Korea. Who knows what his skill set will translate to back in the States, but they know what they needed to do. They had Chris Bassett and Max Scherzer going out, 2 veterans on the free agent market, and they've already gone out and signed 2 guys who can be their potential replacements, and probably both guys are better than the guys leaving. So they're actively trying to improve their roster after that, to me, completely surprising postseason run. Right. So I think from a financial standpoint, I did think it was a bit of an overpay. I did not view him as a $200 million arm, but his ceiling is pretty high. His floor, he probably, like we were saying before the show, he's probably like a average to below average arm, but he'll give you 160, 170 innings every year. So I like the signing for Toronto from the standpoint that he gives you a solid 1 or 2 or 3 front 3 arm, but I just thought the money was a lot to give a guy who's had 2 below average seasons in the last 4 years.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at on this too, is that I think that it was an overpay. That does not mean that it was necessarily a bad move. I think that, Dylan Cease is going to have, I think, a good bit of fun playing at Rogers Center here, and I think he's going to do well here. I have a couple, the only issues I have, again, are the money. I did not think that he was worth at all close to $200 million, but I would be happy to be wrong here. I think he's going to step in right now and be, the new ace here, right? But having a rotation now of Dylan Cease, Kevin Gausman here, Shane Bieber, and Trey Savage here, Cody Ponce and Barrios on top of all that kind of stuff is nice. I think it's very, very nice. But here's one thing I kind of want to bring up here, and this is what makes Cease, I think, so interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but let's do some simple math here for a moment. He's a strikeout artist, right? So if you're a strikeout artist here, your entire goal is not necessarily to go deep into games. Your goal is to strike out batters and to basically give your team an early advantage here the first, say, 5 innings, right? Is that fair to say? So with that being said here, doing some simple math, if you threw let's say the absolute most efficient that you can be as a starting pitcher, getting a strikeout for every batter is 3 pitches. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. Again, completely hypothetical. You'd have to throw 9 immaculate innings.
You've left out the pitch clock violation possibility.
Oh, true. Yeah, every pitch clock violation. Yeah, absolutely. Technically, you don't even have to throw a pitch at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, not pitch clock. You know what I mean. Here, if you do some multiplication, there are 27 outs that you have to get. Here, and it takes 3 pitches to get each one of those outs. Here, that's 81 pitches, which, don't get me wrong, that's still really good. Here, I would say, I don't know what the exact average is. My usual average for trying to keep a good tempo, at the very least, and keep a good rhythm as you're pitching is about 5 pitches per batter. I think that's fairly safe to assume here. If you were to throw that for the full 27 outs, you would be at 135 pitches, which means that, let's take it back then a notch to about the 100 pitch mark. You're somewhere between the 6th and 7th innings here, math-wise here. So the fact that he hasn't been averaging at 6 and been just a little beforehand, I honestly find okay here. He has been like around that 5 to 6 mark here, and that's with a little above average pitches per batter. But that's what you're going to get when you have a strikeout artist. It takes at the minimum 3 pitches to strike out a batter here. Again, pitch clock remaining here, right? So for him, being able to like throw 95 pitches, being able to throw out 100 pitches here, a lot of times you're not going to go past the 6th inning. Heck, you may not even make it into the 6th inning here, but your strikeout batters and you're doing your exact job. And it also helps a little bit more with your innings count because you're not throwing as many innings. Here, you're throwing probably 5, maybe 6. Here, it's kind of the same argument that we had with Blake Snell. He a couple of years ago with the Padres when he won the Cy Young. He was dominant, not because he went deep into games, but because he was able to dominate the hitters that he went up against here on this. And he threw a lot of pitches early, but that's because he also walked a lot of guys here. When I take a look at Dylan Cease's stats here, especially from this last year, the amount of walks he had didn't really jump off the page. It was 71. Like, that's not horrid. Is that great? No. But is it horrid? Absolutely not. Here, he has a walks per 9 of 3.8 in 2025, which, okay, cool. That's fine. That's not amazing. In fact, that's probably maybe a little higher than some would like.
It's, I think I would like it to be a little lower, but it's acceptable.
We'd like it to be lower, but it's acceptable for what he is bringing here with the strikeout numbers. I think this move also shows that now by adding him to that rotation, they're going to have a lot more faith in their bullpen here because now you know you're not going to get 6+ out of him. You're going to get 5, sometimes 6, and very rarely will he go deeper than that. He's done so 3 times in his career, one in 2021, one time in 2022, and one time in 2024.
And one of those was a no-hitter. So
exactly. Which if you get taken out during a no-hitter or perfecto, what's going on here? Shout out to Clayton Kershaw.
Shout out to Dave Roberts.
Yeah, shout out to Rich Hill.
Dick Mountain.
Mountain.
By the way,
before we continue,
yep.
Does Rich Hill pitch in 2026?
Absolutely,
yes,
he does.
100%.
Okay.
Also worth noting, I did get a notification that apparently Kyle Tucker was spotted at the Blue Jays facility today. I'm not saying that the Blue Jays are going to sign Kyle Tucker, but it is worth noting that the Blue Jays are not settling for just an AL pennant. They are trying to do much more next year.
In other news, Robert Urchevac is also at the Toronto facility.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you guys think here when it comes to Dylan Cease. Are you on the train that thinks that this was a brilliant move for all parties involved here? Do you think that it was a bit of an overpay? Do you think that this is one of the moves that helps the Blue Jays reach the World Series in 2026? Let us know here on Twitter at LAR_baseball or as a comment to this YouTube video here at Losses Above Replacement on YouTube. With that being said, now we're going to move on to another signing here. And this one's a little more close to the heart for one old Mathias Kurosaki here. as Devin Williams has made his home now in Queens, a 3-year, $51 million contract for the former Yankee and Brewer closer. So let's start with you, Mac, here on this. I want to get kind of your initial feelings on this, especially now how this works with potentially re-signing Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this deal is also, so $6 million of that is the signing bonus, and also they're deferring $5 million of it. So he's really getting about around the same amount that Ryan Helsley got from Baltimore, and I think he's a significantly better pitcher than Ryan Helsley is at this point. And look, Helsley's had some good years, but Williams, it was a confusing year for him. I was saying this to Alex before the show. Everything about him indicates that he's still a good pitcher, except his ERA was 4.79. His xERA was 3.11. His FIP was 2.68. His xFIP was 2.95. His strikeout to walk ratio was 3.6, the highest he's had over a full season. His expected batting average against was only 195. And late in the year, he finally looked like he was figuring it out. If we include postseason appearances, he didn't allow a run in 21 of his last 23 outings. His changeup was still one of the best in the majors, best in the world. I mean, by Stuff Plus, it was the best by some models. But in my opinion, this is a good start. I had a strong feeling he was coming to Flushing. He was, with the Brewers when David Stearns was there, was running their baseball ops department. And he, like I said, he's coming off a down year, but he did say at the end of the year that he did grow to embrace New York. So I think that this is a nice move. Personally, though, I think I'd much rather him be the setup man. He said he's willing to be the setup man. So I don't think this takes Edwin Diaz out of the picture. I still think the Mets have a strong chance at retaining him. But there is competition there. It sounds like the Dodgers are really going to make a play for him, which scares me.
Shocker.
If the Dodgers want to offer him 5 years and $120 million, I don't see David Stearns doing that. But if they're able to come to some type of agreement, whether it's a 3 years and an option or 4 years and an option, I think they're going to try to bring Diaz back so that Williams can be a setup man. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they still have work to do with this bullpen. I mean, Splash has put up the depth chart for the Mets bullpen going into next year. And right now it looks kind of weird. AJ Minter is going to be back, but it's still not looking super formidable. So they have work to do, but this is a good start.
Like, I want to be a hater and I want to say, oh, he had a 4 ERA. He's going to suck in New York, yada, yada. At the end of the day, the underlying stuff is perfectly normal. I will say the strikeout rate dropped. It went from 43% in 2024 to 34.7% in 2025. Keep in mind, small sample size in 2024, he only threw 21 innings. But the 34.7% is a little bit lower than his normal full seasons with Milwaukee. But the walk rate was below 10% in a full season for the first time in his career. It was over 12%, 21 to 24. It was under 10% last year. That's good. The quality of contact against is a smidge concerning. He got hit significantly harder than normal. The previous few seasons of his career, he's about an 85 mile per hour average exit velocity. Last year, he was over 89. He allowed a lot more line drives, about 22% compared to around 20% in his younger days. Not anything crazy, but that can explain the fluctuation between the ERA, the expected ERA, what he looks like on a Baseball Savant page versus what Yankee fans will claim they saw. And I mean, even in his down season, batters hit under 200 against him. And even with the elevated walk rate, they still had an on base of 287. And even with the additional exit velocity I mentioned, they had an OPS of 607. If you're turning every hitter into a 607 OPS guy in your down season, that is an excellent reliever. I have no qualms with that. And like Max said, I think he would be a great, I don't want to say setup man, because obviously if you get Edwin Diaz, he would be the setup man. He is a great reliever, and I think the Mets need to continue to add more relievers so you have that built-in security, because Devin Williams is not like Mariano Rivera here. last year in New York, he was removed from the closer's role. The Yankees had Luke Weaver, who stepped in and was fine. So you could withstand that. As a Braves fan who has seen AJ Minter close games, don't. So
yeah, I'd be hesitant.
Go sign another high leverage arm or trade for Josh Hader or do something and have, two horsemen at the top as opposed to trying to rely on AJ Minter to be your number, your highest leverage guy. Good lefty reliever, absolutely. But I don't want him pitching the ninth inning if I'm a Mets fan. If I'm a Braves fan, yeah, absolutely. Let him allow 3-run homers to Brandon Nimmo the whole evening. And bad memories for me. But
I think, what was it? Hader and Williams reuniting would be wild. I don't see it happening.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
I also didn't put 2 and 2 together. I forgot Hader. I forgot they pitched
Williams. What's the setup, man?
Yeah. Hey, make that happen, and then you have a high leverage lefty. You have a high leverage righty.
Exactly.
You put AJ Minter in the pick your spot role when you face the Matt Olsons in the division, or when Kyle Schwarber re-signs with the Phillies, or Bryce Harper. Minter versus Harper, I believe, is a really bad matchup, but that just could be my Braves brain speaking. But you have him for that situation.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to bring up here when it comes to Devin Williams is that I don't like him as a closer. I don't. I think he's good as a closer. I think he is incredible as a setup man. Here, when I take a look at his stats over the course of his career, he has been extremely reliable. Like you said, this is a down year, which somehow a negative 0.3 WAR according to Baseball Reference, which I don't agree with here. Last year, the ERA was a 4.79, but like you said earlier, opponents were only hitting 198 off of him. Like, that's really good. Opponents were hitting as an OPS just above, what was it, 600? Is 607? Yeah, like, that's still good here, but you want to go back let's go back even further here. Take a look at the rest of his entire career. Here, go back to the Milwaukee days here, right? With Milwaukee, he had an ERA average of under 2. He was insanely good here. And how many years of that was he the main closer? That would be, was he the main closer? That would be 2. His first 4 years were mainly as a setup man here before they dealt Hader away. And during that time, his ERA was here. I'm not going to count 2019 here because that was only a small handful of games here. Here, ERA of 0.33, 2.5, 1.93, 1.54. And that was the first year that he did have even real chances at the saving closer position here, where he had 36 saves that year, where he was the number 1 closing guy. And like, you know what? Good you there. 2024 here, plays the 22 games, has, those issues as well. But every time where I have seen him as a setup man here, he is electric. Because on top of it, here's the other thing that I like to personally bring up here. When you go from 8 to 9 in the line, it's like in a game, inning 8 to inning 9, it is important to have a change of tempo. Here, I think. If you just go flamethrower, at some point it becomes the same pitch. At some point it becomes the same one that you're seeing. Yes, there's obviously, different metrics. Yeah, there's obviously different speeds and all that. But when you have the airbender, then followed up with a 100-mile-per-hour Edwin Diaz fastball, that is hard to pick up on, even if you're not seeing any of the pitches directly. Just watching how the game moves differently is very interesting, and as a team, it's an invaluable resource. We take a look at what happened here with the Brewers when they had both Hader and Williams. Here, Hader, I think we could both agree, not both, we could all agree here, that he was a dominant arm. Here, when he was playing for the Brewers, he was also more of a power pitcher. He had a pretty electric fastball. Here, Hader is like, whereas Williams' specialty was that changeup. Here, the airbender that, again, MLB The Show still calls a screwball. Because why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to be fair, it's one of the few modern players that actually throws a screwball in the game. So, But anyway, regardless, he has been so dominant in the 8th inning as well as in the 9th here, but I like him more in the 8th here. I think I trust him more in the 8th inning. I know Splash is bringing up the by inning splits here, but I feel a lot stronger seeing him in that 8th inning spot here, especially when you're not putting all of the pressure on him. He still is going to have a lot of pressure coming in tight situations, but when you also take him out of the smaller New York Yankees ballpark, I think he's going to do just fine. I do think that he can succeed as the closer. I would still rather see Edwin Diaz sign there and him be the setup man.
Yeah, and that's my thought exactly. But I'll say this much is that I appreciate that Williams does have some success as a closer, and I know last year was a bit of I think it was a bit of an aberration. He got kind of unlucky when you look at some of his outings. You know, the Yankees defense did sort of betray him sometimes, but this is a guy who has saved over 30 games in a season before, and he's been very good as a closer. And I know everyone wants to talk about his postseason woes, especially in 2024. Giving up that home run to Alonso, but he was good in the postseason this year. He wasn't working as the closer and maybe not as high of leverage in terms of his situations, but there are some guys who can never figure out how to be a closer. Dellin Betances, great example. It looked like he was going to be the next closer, after David Robertson left, and he just never figured out how to be a closer. He was an elite setup man who could not pitch in the 9th inning. Williams was an elite setup man for Josh Hader in Milwaukee. And then when he was given the full-time closer's job, at least in Milwaukee, he was excellent. So I think if push comes to shove, Diaz doesn't come back or they don't sign another or trade for another closer, Williams can be the closer. But to your point, I'd much rather re-sign Edwin Diaz and have Williams be his setup man.
I do think it's worth saying that I feel like you'd always rather have an elite guy in the 8th because that means you have an even better guy in the 9th.
I get that. Yeah, that's a very fair point to bring up here.
Yeah, so
obviously you'd rather have 2 elite relievers than just 1.
Yeah, he's been I'd say mainstay in our top 5 relievers.
Yep.
When we do it year over year.
Yes.
And if he's not in the top 5, he's around the top 5, or Devin Williams would be here, but he threw 21 innings, that sort of deal. And Edwin Diaz is also in that group. So if you have theoretically 2 of the top 5 relievers in baseball, 2 of the top, and with Mr. Betting Man out of the game now, 2 of the top 4 relievers in a lot of lists in years past. So that would be eat that, Dodgers. I guess. It
would still be very fun to see, Edwin Diaz come back to the Mets here for it, and then you have Williams in the setup role, so you just get the 2020 Milwaukee Brewers all over again. At that point, where you have Williams with a .33 ERA, and then Sugar coming in just to slam the door. That sounds like
it's weird because I remember that was a year actually where Williams was better than Hader by stats. Hader had Hader. I remember kind of had an uneven season, but when the 2 of them for a full season were great in 2021, that was the best back end in baseball. So I'm not saying that, Diaz necessarily needs to replicate what he did last year or in 2022, but it would be nice to have 2 elite relievers at the back end of the pen, in addition to having Minter and Brooks Raley as lefties. But they like I said, the bullpen struggled so badly late in the year. And part of it was the starting pitching not giving them good length, but they can't stop here. It'd be kind of foolish to just sign Devin Williams and be done. And I don't think that's going to be the case, whether it be trades or free agency. I think they're going to get more guys.
And I do want to fact check something. AJ Minter has been perfectly fine against Bryce Harper. It's Brandon Nimmo that gives me the nightmares.
Oh, okay.
Also fair.
Yeah, 2 homers allowed against Nimmo. He's been really good against Harper, though. Like a 300 OPS.
I feel like that looking at Minter's pitch mix with this cutter and everything, I could see that being a good matchup.
Soto has an 800 OPS, but obviously that doesn't matter because they're teammates.
Yeah, true.
So one other thing I want to bring up here before we move on to our next topic is that the contract itself, I think, is amazing for the Mets here, I think it's a very team-friendly deal because, again, I just want you to take the 2025 off of your baseball reference here for just a second here. If you take that off, you take a look at this kind of arm that has this kind of stats here, and you say that he's not worth over $100 million here. I don't see it. I feel like you take a look at everything but 2025, and that is a sign for 5 years, 6 years, over 100, maybe $130 million here on this. And because of a bad 2025 here, the Mets got him for 3 years and realistically not that much here, $51 million here. So I think that I think we could be looking at this signing here about, say, midway through 2026, maybe even into 2027, as one of the best signings here of at least this offseason, just for player ratio to money spent wise. Here. Anyway, with that being said here, I'm very curious how our next bit is going to go, because it's going to be trivia time here. It's a little early for it, but we're trying out something new here, as we've been for a good bit now. But this was an idea brought to us by one good Splash. So, Splash, I would like to hand it over to you to explain it.
All right, let's do this.
Hello. I'm going to call this the number game. The gist is 2 of us know the number. The other person is trying to guess the number, and that person has some clues at their disposal. So, for example, say the number is 1, and I don't know the number. I will ask Mac and Alex, give me a insert baseball term that relates to this number, whether it's their ability or when you think of that player or team, you think of this number, whatever it may be. I'm trying to deduce the number from their guesses. It's a version of wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say trying to get 1, and I'm say 2025 teams. Alex might say Rockies. Yeah. Mac might say the Twins after the trade deadline. I would say 1 and get it right. You can do players, teams, managers. The world is your oyster in this case. So all 3 of us will play around as the point man. And for the audio listeners, we will tell you what the number is. Feel free to skip ahead if you want to play along and try to guess what we're doing. Video listeners will do a hand signal. Who would like to be the point man first?
I'll take it on first here on
All right.
So I will be removing my headset and I will be putting it back on in about 7 seconds.
Sure.
All right.
Do you want to do 3?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You guys have your number ready. And one of the things we should also point out here is that there are 2 ways that we can go about this here. Either an out of 10 or like an out of 100 type thing where, like, if you want to go, we'll probably be keeping this an out of 10.
Yeah.
I think. So, all right. So
out of 10
out of 10. All right, cool. So for an out of 10, I want you to get to help me get the number here. That way I can say it right. I want you to give me a team post trade deadline. How strong they are.
Oh God.
I'll go Orioles. We'll go Orioles.
Okay, so it's gonna be a fairly low number. It's my guess.
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay, I'm gonna guess 3.
There you go.
Well, wow.
Good job, Alex.
First try.
Good stuff.
We are absolutely goated.
All right, I'll be the point man next.
All right, sounds good. Take off your headset. Okay, let's go with 7.
2, 3, 4.
So for you?
Yep, go with me.
Forgot to mute myself, boys. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, my man. All right, come on back in. All right, we have our number ready out of 10.
Okay. I would like you to give me Hall of Famers.
Ooh, Hall of
Ooh.
Famers.
That's
Okay.
tough.
So
like, Bill Mazeroski would be like a 1. Babe Ruth
Yeah.
would be a 10.
that's absolutely
Okay.
fair.
I got one. Jeff Bagwell.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's pretty good. I
I'm
think.
like good. I'd say above 5. I think he could be like a. He's not like Pujols or Gehrig among first basemen. Pujols isn't a Hall of Famer yet, but
I was gonna say,
anyways.
yeah.
He's not like inner circle, but he's like a clear Hall of Famer to me. Okay, Alex.
All right, I'm trying to think of one that, like, at the very least, kind of gets you to that level. I think I'm gonna go with Eddie Matthews.
Ooh, okay. So Eddie Matthews, top 5 third baseman. I'm between like a 7 and I'll go 8.
Okay, that is not correct.
Not.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Are
go
we
ahead and give us-
underrating Eddie Matthews here? Okay. I will ask for I'll do something different. Kinds of plate appearances as a hitter. Like what result do you want? So 10 would be like a home run, 1 would be a 3-pitch strikeout.
Okay. I'm going to say a 1 RBI double.
Okay.
I was just gonna go with a double.
Okay. A 7?
It is a 7.
Yep, it's
correct.
7.
We are disrespecting Eddie Matthews here.
I as soon as I said it, I'm like, but here's the other thing. I was also looking at the Hall of Fame voting percentage, 75 or 78, between 75-78%.
Okay. That is just I
That's
have
crazy.
my words. I have my words.
Fair enough.
All right.
Understandable. Here.
All right.
He's also just one of those guys that, like, he's great, but he's also not always like some of the first that you come up with.
Yeah, because people will say Mike Schmidt first or George,
Yeah.
because it's that weird like World War II, post World War II, pre expansion era. So all right, Mac.
All right.
Alrighty, go ahead, take out your headphones, Mac. Okay.
Do you want to do 4? Okay.
Also, don't do hand signs, I think. Makes it a little easier if he turns around early. All right. Yes, though. All right, Mac. I know you're muted, but come on in.
All right, let's roll.
All right, we have your number. Go ahead and ask.
Give me a 2025 All-Star.
Ooh. Okay, let me pull up a list real quick.
Yeah, I'm pulling this up too.
Are you basing this on? I guess I can't.
Like how deserving they were.
Okay.
How deserving? Okay.
Okay. I will go.
Yeah, this is actually pretty tough, but I think I have.
Okay, I will go with Ronald Acuna.
He wasn't. Was he a 2025
Yep,
All-Star?
he was a
Yes, he
starter.
was. Duh.
Okay, I'm going to go with Brent Rooker.
6.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay.
Another topic, sir.
Okay. Give me. Okay. Give me a World Series. That like how great it was.
2013.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2013 as well.
I can try to.
No. I think honestly that probably helps our case a little bit.
I'll go with a 4.
There you go.
It is a 4.
All
right, good deal.
Nice.
All right, I feel like that went quick enough. Would you guys want to do one more round of this?
Yeah, sure. Let's do another round.
Let's do one more round. So I'll take my headset off and I'll count to 7 and I'll come back in.
I want to do 0. Try to get a 0.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Sure.
See what happens.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Okay.
All right, out of 10, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I would like you to give me a current first baseman that fits.
Um.
The fact that it's like not easy means it's like probably right down in the middle and potentially low. I should also probably be clear, like starting first base.
Okay, I got
Starting
you.
first baseman. All right.
Okay, Luis Ariz when he's in a slump.
Oh my god, that's a 1? Like, is this just not a 1?
I'll go with I'll go with Cody Clemens.
Okay, we're going 1. Sounds good.
Okay, make another topic.
Oh my god, how is that not a 1? You take one of the guys that can't field, can't run, and the one that he can do is hit, and you took that away from him, and it's not a 1? Okay, give me a let's see here. Give me a closing pitcher.
We'll go with.
If this is not 2, I am going to.
We'll go with a position player pitching.
Oh, 0 then.
Yes. There you go.
Yes,
it's 0.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, that was dirty. We said between 1 and 10, not 0 and 10. Okay. That was dirty, man. Come on.
I don't know if that's dirty necessarily.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, cool. Hey, we're gonna do next one between 1 and 10. It's gonna be 26.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right. What are we thinking?
1.
All right. Good with me.
All right. Man, that hurts. Actually, no. 0.1. We're gonna do a decimal just to screw with them. Okay, fine. We'll just do just 1. Okay, we have it.
All right, let's go.
11.
Dang, you figured this out now.
I'm going to go with MLB Power Pros 2008 players. Mac, do your best.
Felix PA.
Oh God.
I'll do another former Orioles outfielder than Corey Patterson.
Ugh. I'm between like a 2 and a 3. Like a 2?
No.
Okay. Give me ballpark foods.
This is kind of biased here, so
this is extremely biased, but I think I have an answer.
I think I have an answer too. I'm going to go cotton candy.
Okay.
I'm going to go with you just got like the little card that you would put a hot dog in, and you say you just put mustard, ketchup, and relish.
What?
It's ballpark food, I guess, because it's there.
So no hot dog. It's just ketchup and relish.
It's just mustard, ketchup, and relish.
It's just condiments.
A 1.
Yes, it's 1.
There you go.
Cotton candy is okay.
Good, man.
Yeah,
I'm not a cotton candy guy, dude. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, honestly, for cotton candy, I would say like, oh, okay, maybe like a 4.
All right,
the worst.
All
right.
What
do you want to do?
You want to do 10?
Yeah, let's do 10.
Best of the best right here. Okay.
All right, let's go. All right, works for me. Okay, I was about to be really mean, by the way. I was telling Mac that I was gonna do a decimal for you.
Oh. 6.7.
6.9. Nice. All right. Got it. Go for it.
Give me a current catcher.
Cal Raleigh.
Darn it. Now I gotta Will Smith when it's the World Series.
All right, it's a 10.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, that once you said Cal Raleigh, I was like, that's
like,
I was gonna be like Cal Raleigh hitting right-handed. Left-handed.
Like Cal Raleigh when playing against the Rockies. At that point, I would have done that if it was like 11.
Cal Raleigh against the Blue Jays.
Oh yeah. Cal Raleigh. He's like Cal Raleigh with Dan Schneider watching.
Drake Baldwin with Sean Murphy breathing down his neck.
Bryce Miller on no days rest.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto on like 12 minutes of rest.
That's still insane.
Like, dude, I can't. That may be the greatest pitching performance I think I've ever seen.
I mean, I still
Live,
can't believe
certainly.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
man.
That's right up there, honestly, with like throwing the no in the World Series. That's right up there with everything. That just his overall World Series performance was incredible.
I thought trivia was a success.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
I'd
a
love
lot.
to do that
actually.
again. That sounds like that's a good time. All right,
see,
but
for full transparency, I want to try the one that we all say a name at the same time, but I don't know how well it would work.
It'd be kind of hard.
Yeah, I feel like we have to save that for the in-person.
Yeah,
LAR,
when we get to LARHQ.
Yeah, when we get LARHQ. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Good
job, boys.
But with all that being said, thank you. That was a really fun idea, Splash.
Yeah, I like it.
It's now time for the moment to ourselves where we have a moment to talk about anything that's on our minds. It does not have to be baseball related, but it absolutely can be. Gentlemen, would either of you like to go first? Splash, your hand went up first. I will count you down, sir. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right. Hello. First of all, if you are from one of the following areas, you are not allowed an opinion on this matter. If you're from Massachusetts, Illinois, Dallas, Colorado, Michigan, Los Angeles, Miami, Minnesota, New York City, Philadelphia, the San Francisco Bay Area, or Washington, D.C., you are not allowed an opinion on this. Sometimes I see these takes that are like, well, you can only be a fan of the teams in your geographical region. You should be a fan of teams all in the same city. That is just an entirely privileged and entitled take. Some of us, like me, were not born and raised in a city that currently has all 4 sports teams. The Thrashers left when I'm a kid. What is 8-year-old Ryan supposed to do? What is Alex supposed to do when his Sonics leave? Or when the Kraken don't exist until he's 30? Sorry, Alex. It is just that take infuriates me that, I'm a Yankees and Giants and Rangers and Knicks fan. Congratulations, your city has all 4 teams. But do you want me to be a bandwagon and change over to being a Falcons fan when I didn't know they existed? The first team I wanted to be a fan of was the Ravens. The first basketball team I wanted to be a fan of was the Cavs. If I switch teams, that's being a bandwagon. Or being a fair weather fan for your city. Like, folks, there's an order of operations here, and I chose my teams before 6-year-old me understood geography, understood that the Cleveland Cavaliers and Cleveland Browns play in the same city, or understood that the Baltimore Ravens and Baltimore Orioles. I didn't even know the Orioles were a thing. Like, I chose my teams when I was 5 and 6. Like, it will be... In May, I will have been a Cavs fan for 20 years. 20 years. I was a Cavs fan before I was a Braves fan. And I'm from Atlanta. Like, the only one that maybe has an argument is the Red Wings, because both of my parents are Red Wings fans. Just it just gets on my nerves, man. I was 5 years old when I became a Cavs fan and a Ravens fan and a Boise State fan. I'm sorry that 5-year-old me doesn't know that Boise is in Idaho and Idaho is not near any other state that I'm a fan of. I'm not thinking about that when I'm 5. Sorry, maybe you are. Maybe you're super advanced. I don't know. But it just gets on my nerves, man. Don't like, I get hating bandwagon fans. That's absolutely fine. The Patriots, Duke, Alabama football, Lakers, Cowboys fans, Yankees fans, fine. But if you are a fan of the same team you've been a fan of your entire life, I don't see the issue with it. Sorry that I can't be a Atlanta hockey fan because they don't exist anymore. What do you want me to do? Become a Hurricanes fan, a Florida Panthers fan, Lightning fan, Predators fan, heaven forbid, a Jets fan or Winnipeg Jets fan? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is Alex supposed to do? Is he supposed to be a Thunder fan? That is just horse crap. Like, if you're think about an older generation of fans for my teams. Cleveland fan. Well, what do you do when the Browns leave? You're not going to become a Ravens fan. Now, different circumstances because the Browns came back. But the Baltimore team. If you're an Orioles fan, And when the Colts leave in '83, what do you become an Indianapolis Colts fan? No. Do you just not follow football anymore? Like, what are we doing? And like teams have, if we assume that expansion doesn't happen, which is not true, expansion happens. Seattle got a team, Vegas got a team, the NBA is going to expand, MLB is going to expand, and we assume that teams never move. A team in my city moved. Teams in other cities, look at the A's right now. The Arizona Coyotes just moved. Teams move. Phoenix used to have all 4 teams. They don't have them anymore. St. Louis and Kansas City used to have all 4. Now they only have 2 each. Cleveland had all 4 briefly. But teams move, and geography is different. And we live in a society that we have 24/7 access to sports. If I want to be a Cavs fan, I can watch most of the Cavs games. It's called League Pass. If I want to be a Red Wings fan, I can watch most of the Red Wings games. I don't follow hockey like that, but I can buy the MLB TV package and watch about 150 Braves games. I watch the Ravens most weeks because they're local here, but in theory, I could get Sunday Ticket and watch them every week and get the other streaming services and pay $500 a month for it, whatever. But I think it's a very entitled take. I hope you don't like a Premier League team. I hope you don't like a La Liga team. I hope you're not a Barca fan. Well, I hope you're not a Barca fan anyways, but I hope you don't follow Barcelona or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or any European soccer team, because clearly your geographical superiority gives you this complex that you're superior to everyone else. Like, screw off. Genuinely screw off.
It's a hard thing to kind of work through, because there are people that just follow, players. There are people that just follow what teams are successful, and then there are people that follow, teams their entire lives here. And I'm not saying that any one of them is wrong. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of people that just go from successful team to successful team, but you know what? That's them. That is them. But I don't like shaming other people for enjoying a team here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's my main issue when it comes to...
Like, if you're going to say, I'm going to use myself as an example. If you're going to say that I don't feel the same way about the Tyler Boyd play that I was there in person for, I was at M&T Bank Stadium for that. I was wearing shorts in 20-degree weather and watched my heart get ripped out with 70,000 fans. Yeah, I was there. That's painful. Like, it baffles me well, you can't be a real fan if you're not from the area. Just screw off.
Yeah.
No,
like,
that's the thing, is that
you.
I don't know, a lot of us get our teams from, or like I know most people like get their teams from their families and stuff, but like in my family, nobody really followed football. Like that's, my oldest brother happened to go to Carnegie Mellon for college, which is in Pittsburgh. And we stayed right next to the stadium. So I was like, all right, that's a football team. That's my team now. Yeah. Whereas, like, yes, I still root for the Knicks in basketball and the Mets. I mean, the thing is, the Mets weren't my family's original team either. My dad was a Dodgers fan, and then Sandy Koufax retired. My grandfather was a Giants fan, the only Giants fan in Brooklyn, probably. And then they moved to San Francisco. He said, I can never root for them again. Can't root for the Yankees. Oh, there's a National League Baseball team in New York again. So yeah, that's that. And then when Koufax retired, Tom Seaver happened to be coming up at the same time. So,
and like, from my perspective, like, I'm a Red Wings fan. My parents are both Red Wings fans, but they're not Pistons fans. They don't watch basketball like that. My first exposure to basketball was the Cavs. Like, sorry that 5-year-old me doesn't know that the Atlanta Hawks are a team. Sorry, but you can watch
know, like,
on TV.
Exactly one Hawks fan. So
like, there's all sorts of ways to get into sports. Like, there you can highlight packages on SportsCenter. We're all of the age SportsCenter was a big thing. Like, what's stopping people? There's plenty of Cubs and Braves fans around the country that don't live in Chicago or Atlanta because of WGN and TBS. I think that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
How many Bulls fans do you think there are that, because that was the WGN Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan? Like, I think that's fine, and that's a little bandwagony because it's the Jordan Bulls, but I think that's fine.
Nowadays, you can't really bandwagon the Bulls. They haven't been good since Jordan.
You're a Bulls fan for the last 35,
won
40
since-
years, that's
they haven't
fine to
won
me.
since Jordan.
Yeah.
But it just like my family's not a basketball family. I didn't know the Pistons were a thing until after I was a Cavs fan. I didn't know the Hawks were a thing until after I was a Cavs fan. Same thing with the Falcons. My first exposure to the Falcons was the Mike Vick dogfighting incident.
Oh God!
Like, are you going to be a fan of a team that has a star player who's in dogfighting allegations? Probably not. I saw it was Omar from ESPN. I think he's on SportsCenter that had the take, and he does a lot of great things. That was just a horrendous take.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he doesn't have a European soccer team that he follows. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit on my end, just a small piece on it. Like, again, obviously I'm in Seattle, and I'm a Mariner fan, but my family was not a sports family before me here. I kind of dragged them into it, unfortunately, but also going to a Mariner game was a cheap thing back in the day, where like $10 would get you parking, food, and your tickets here back then. Here,
I was going to say that's wow.
Yeah, well, again, you go back to the time where it was really bad with it, and again, it was cheap to go to games here. Like, yes, you're sitting in the nosebleeds, but even then, most of the time you're moving down at that point. But honestly, if you just enjoy watching sports, there's already such a stigma around sports fans themselves being very uneducated, being very rowdy, and being very unpleasant here. Just enjoy watching the game, talking about the game, talking about cool players and cool moments. No need to hate on someone. It's just enjoy it. Enjoy sports. Mac, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go?
I can go.
All right, sounds good. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, today's Spotify Wrapped Day. I'm just perplexed by the results on my Spotify Wrapped this year. Anyone who knows my taste in music, it's a lot of rock. Just, I looked at my genres. 4 of my 5 top genres were some form of rock. My top artists were mostly rock artists. And then they show my top 5 songs. And, this is what happens when you let shuffle kind of take the wheel. I 90% of the time when I'm working out, I just put on shuffle. 4 of my top songs were country, apparently. I'm not a country guy, personally. I'm not a big country guy. I'll say this much. If you're into country music, whatever floats your boat. I'm not going to shame you for being into country music. Personally, I'm not really into country music. But I did live with I lived and was teammates with a bunch of people in New Jersey who really love country music, whatever. But I was surprised. I guess I'll say this much. I have basically every genre in my library. And I guess, shuffle's crazy. Honestly, it's made me listen to more of my library more often. So that's cool. But yeah, I'm surprised. Shout out to the band 38 Special. They're from the late 70s, I believe. They're my number 1 artist again. They've been my number 1 artist almost every year I've had Spotify. I was just surprised, and that's that. But Spotify Wrapped is something I always am intrigued by every year, because I don't know what plays all the time, what plays most frequently. So yeah.
One of the things I find funny now is because I don't use Spotify, I use YouTube for everything, and so now they have the YouTube Rewind thing here.
Rewind, yeah.
I don't know how long that's been going on for, but I just want to bring this up to everyone here that my YouTube Rewind did 2d4 of psychic damage to me by being extremely on the nose for me. That one of the things it does is your YouTube award based on the things that you watch. And my YouTube award was, I'm reading it directly from my phone, most likely to quote obscure wrestling catchphrases while playing video games.
That, Alex, I don't think you could have made a better one.
I mean, the only thing I think I would have added to something Mariner related, baseball related, but at the same time,
maybe yelling Big Dumper while playing video games.
Yelling Big Dumper while playing a wrestling video game, maybe.
Yes, exactly. I thought mine was kind of weird. I guess I went through a kick of watching a bunch of poker videos,
Yeah.
So like my top 5 are like casino, gambling, poker. It's like, what? I watch a lot of sports stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I didn't
very
have
strange.
I had very few sports on my rewind here. What I did have apparently is that if I forgot to turn off autoplay when I went to sleep, it would put on a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog speedruns.
Hmm.
And so
Whoa.
apparently that was my number 1. And I'm like, I don't remember watching even one this year.
Yeah, that's probably what happened with the poker ones. Or like there's a ASMR blackjack channel that I would fall asleep to once in a while, and if those autoplay, that's 6 hours of technically blackjack, but it's ASMR, you know. All right, Alex, your turn, sir.
I will say one last thing on it. My top song was "I Believe in Joe Hendry," so that I think makes perfect sense. As well as my number 3 being "Kingdom," so Cody Rhodes' theme. Yeah, I don't think I'm beating the allegations at this point. I think I'm ready to go. Someone can count me down.
3.
All right, I got you.
Oh,
your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm actually not going to talk sports. I'm not going to talk about songs. What I'm going to talk about is that we are in the holiday season. So I'm going to give kind of like my 2 cents on gift giving here. I think that gift giving, and this is even advice for you guys back home. Gift giving is something that I always enjoy. I love being creative when I can. And honestly, a little bit of creativity goes a long, long, long way here. And it doesn't need to be amazingly expensive for a gift. Just something that shows that you at least put some thought into it. Like if your entire gift is, like a gift card, please at least try. But also there are ways that you can make a gift card interesting and creative here. I will give an example of this. A couple years ago, one of my family's gifts to another family member was like $150 in Home Depot funds here to help her get her room all taken care of and put together the way that she wanted to. Instead of just gifting her $150 here, I went to Home Depot and I got for free, but you get these for free, a few of the wooden yardsticks here, or like foot long sticks, whatever, and a bunch of the paint swatches. And I made essentially fans out of the paint swatches and the sticks, and on each of the bits of the fan here was money that was meant for it. So that was the gift, is that the gift itself, yes, was the money, but how it was presented made it much more of a memorable moment here. And that's what it really comes down to. Give something that people are going to remember here. It does not need to be extremely expensive. I had one gift that's to a very good friend of mine that I do a D&D style game with. Their character picked up a knife one time out of this like base that we were in and kept it for themselves, and then eventually carved their name onto this knife here to like claim it as their own property. So one year I went and I got like a little Swiss pocket knife. I sanded it down here, made it look all rough, and I carved in the name here and made it look all scruffed and used here. And that was the gift, and it was very direct, supposed to be about this, and they were so happy with the gift because it was something that just had creativity to it, something that's not just like a gift card, not something that's just a video game or something like that here. Like, I'm not saying that gift giving is easy. It's very hard here, but even lazy gifts can be fun if you just try to put a little creativity and a bit of thought into it.
I can't get with you with the gift cards. I think there's value in the gift cards, but with greeting cards, absolutely.
Absolutely. I said like if you're just doing a gift card, but if you're gonna do a gift card, find a way to make it interesting, right? Like in the presentation. At the very least.
Yeah, and I think nowadays, like for the greeting cards, folks, I find it easy enough to go on Canva and make my own greeting cards.
Yeah,
and unless you are specifically giving it to them in person, which, fair enough. I did print out Christmas cards last year. So if you're giving it to them in person, fair enough. But if I'm sending you guys a Christmas card, I would make it on Canva and send it to you via text message, right? But I would make it myself. I'm not getting, we're just going to send them a Hallmark card, right? I think there is definitely some creative license. And like one of my best friends, Amanda, shout out to Amanda, birthday twin. She sent me a box of Turkish candy or Turkish like snacks. Something thoughtful, nothing crazy, but it's thoughtful and it's something to think about. That's the value. Like my godmother would have these elaborate, like it'd be like a kind of a scavenger hunt for like your Christmas presents. That was the fun thing. Do I remember the individual gifts? No, but I remember getting a little note and saying, "Oh, check under," it would be like a riddle, and I'd have to go find the next clue. Like that was the fun part.
Awesome, love that.
Honestly, yeah, that's great. Yeah,
like I can't remember more than like 1 or 2 gifts I ever got, but you remember those kind of moments. You remember how that made you feel, and that would be something I want to do when I have my own place, right?
Right, exactly. That's why I said, like, honestly, a little creativity goes a long, long way here for these. But I think with all that being said here, I think that's going to do it for our podcast here today. Thank you so much to everyone for listening. Make sure you go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter at LAR_baseball. You can go follow all of us individually. You can follow me at SportsGuy242. You can go follow Mac at Mathias_A_K. And you can go follow Splash at Mrs. Splashman19. Make sure you also give us a like on Spotify. That way you also know whenever we release new podcasts. The same thing on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and ring the little bell. They're down below as well, so you can be notified whenever we post our podcasts. But for all of us here at Losses Above Replacement, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, all that fun stuff here. We'll be right here for more baseball content. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all soon.